Week 5 was a decent week. Nothing spectacular, but the team did the job. 813 moved up 100 spots, still outside the top 300. Of course, we want to keep moving forward, but at least this was a step in the right direction. It came with a bit of luck, but we take what we can. So we went with Plan B because Jimmy was out against OKC. It meant we couldn't bring in AD. And of course, Jimmy came back in game 2 of the week and killed it from there. I think we would have fared better by a couple of points if we had Jimmy and AD in the team. But I was always going to make that move, not taking any risks with an injured player. But the team, CP3 was pretty mid. A big performance in their second game against Dallas carried the bulk of his score. Not doing much the first 3 quarters and then turning it up in the fourth if they need him is the CP3 way these days. He didn't get as many steals as previous weeks, so that was a bit annoying. LaMelo was good in 3 games. Dinwiddie, big first game with Beal out, shocking against the Hornets, came up clutch against the Heat, so okay week overall. Levine we brought in because obviously we went with Plan B. We definitely take the ton. When he's on, he is something else to watch. That fourth quarter against Denver was unreal. Tyrese Maxey went up another mil, and he's been such a good cash generator for us. My only regret here is starting him over Cade, who got 107, second best score on my team. I was happy to back in Maxey even with one less game because of form, but I didn't expect Cade to really fill up the stat sheet all 4 games. What a week from him. So besides not having that 107 on field, nothing much to complain about there. Nikola Jokic as captain, I think most would have chucked the C on him. But yeah, tough luck. I don't think he's missed a game to injury since 2017. And now he's missed 2 with a wrist injury. I said last week, hopefully we can get 4 full games of Joker captain, and we got half of that. The closest we've gotten to 4 full games of Joker captain was week 2, and even then he missed a half, and he was killing it in that game. So real unfortunate. Precious on the bench, he played pretty well, went up 300k, so that's good. PG's had a bit of trouble with inefficiency and turnovers. The score is okay, but watching him as a Clipper fan, he's done a great job leading this team so far. Scotty Barnes was pretty average, barely went up in price, so I think this is the week he can go. Wagner didn't go up too much. He was pretty solid for the first 3 games, but no good against the Bucks. Giannis, I think it was a blessing in disguise that we got to keep him. Second best score of the week in just 3 games. Massive week from him. Mobley, real tough luck there as well. He was having a shocker against the Celtics, and to put the icing on the cake, he got injured as well. So he ends the week on 4. He still went up a lot because of his previous games, but he's got to go sadly. But Robinson Earl, we brought him in, played really well. So I've put together a plan in place that should get us a pretty strong team by week 8, I think. This week we will go Nikola Jokic out, Denver play 2, and there's no guarantees Jokic plays next game either, so too risky of a hold regardless of how good he's scoring. And then we will go Barnes and Mobley out. 2 of the top rookies this season, they've served us well, but it's time to go. AD will come in for Nikola Jokic, and then with 22 mil, I feel like I've overplayed schedule too much, and I want to hone in on some of the must-haves. So we're going to bring back Jimmy Butler. He only plays 3 this week, but he's been so good so far this season, so we definitely want him in the team. And then with 6 mil, we're going to save some of that cash and go a rookie price player, Dean Wade. He's been pushed into the Cavs starting lineup with their injuries, and he's played well the past couple of games, so I'll back him in to make us some cash. So Jokic, Barnes, Mobley for AD, Jimmy, and Dean Wade. So this is the team heading into week 6. Got Giannis as captain, our 2 rookies on field, Cade and Franz, both have 4 games, so that's all good. Maxey on the bench, that might be a bit rough. Probably beats Wagner even with 1 less game, but there's no real way I can shift the team to field Maxey and Cade. But I really like how the team looks. We've got a solid foundation to build. Still have Spencer, Maxey, Precious, hopefully he makes a bit more. Robinson Earl's playing well. Hopefully Wade goes well. And then on field we can get rid of Franz eventually. Cade will make us a lot of cash. So we got stuff going there. In the coming weeks, I'm looking at Luka. Hopefully he'll be back soon, because he's been dealing with injury as well. Week 5 was just a horror week of injuries. Luka missed 3 games, Jokic missed 2, Steph missed a game, KD missed a game, and there's probably a few people out there who had all of them. It's just real tough luck. But as I was saying, week 7 we'll look to bring in Luka Doncic. I want to upgrade to him, so depending on form, it will be one of Dinwiddie or Maxey out to Luka. And we probably bring in Porzingis as well. He's been in great form. Of course, the last few games have been without Luka, but even with him, KP was playing really good, so I'll probably look to bring him in as well. Week 6 is a week where, regardless of injury, Luka and Jokic probably have to go. And Porzingis if you have him as a pod. Dallas and Denver both play too, so not ideal to have any of those guys for this week. But there are a number of teams with 4. Atlanta, obviously Trae Young, John Collins are solid. Clint Capella though, he could be an underrated pod to pick up. He's looked back to his best this week, and they have a favourable schedule, so I won't be surprised if he has a massive week scoring wise. I was going to trade him in, but I figured out a plan which had AD in the side this week, so we're not trading in Capella for those reasons. Boston, obviously Jason Tatum's back to his best. He top scored in week 5 with 140, so definitely look to bring him in. Charlotte, obviously LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. Chicago, Levine, DeRozan, Lonzo's not bad either. Detroit, I think it might be the last week to pick up Cade if you don't have him already. He's going to have another massive price rise. At 5 mil, I think it's still an okay pickup, but after another price rise, I think it might be too late. Indiana, like I said last week, just a weird team for Sportsdeck players. Sabonis is the most obvious one, and he's not even at his best at the moment. So yeah, I wouldn't trust anyone from the Pacers. Lakers, obviously AD. LeBron, I don't know. We're going to have to see what the NBA do about the Isaiah Stewart incident. Russ is okay too, but AD is the main one. Memphis, Ja Morant, obviously. Milwaukee, I think most will go Jokic to Giannis, if you don't have Giannis already. Minnesota, Towns has been playing great. Edwards has done well. D'Lo's even been in good form, but I probably wouldn't trust him as a Sportsdeck selection. New Orleans, Valanciunas, and I probably wouldn't trust Ingram. Orlando, Cole Anthony, the main one over there. Phoenix, obviously CP3, Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton actually scored the most out of their big 3, so he's definitely one you could pick up at center. Sacramento, Rashawn Holmes is probably the only one I'd consider from there. Utah, Rudy Gobert, the main one. Donovan can be hot and cold, so weird pick, but not one I'd be opposed to. Washington, Montrezl Harrell's done okay. Beal can be a bit streaky at times. They're a little weird for Sportsdeck selections, but those are probably the two main ones I'd consider from there. There's a lot of good options, a lot that play 4, so I could easily have DeRozan, Tatum, Capella for this week instead of Jimmy. But the main reason I'm picking Jimmy is, like I said before, I think he's a must-have. And I'd back him in to beat a lot of these players that play 4. And on top of that, Miami play 4 in week 7, which is a week where not many teams play 4, so he'd be handy for that week. So hopefully this doesn't backfire on me, because obviously the pick didn't work out in week 5, he got injured. Hopefully things go better this time around. But anyway, that's going to do it. Good luck to you all in week 6, and see you guys in the next video.